Right, now we go on to 7A. This is construction of a shared footway cycleway between Lottbridge Drove and Langney Roundabout, Eastbourne. And Mr Vickers will introduce this one. We'll just wait until Mr Bailey's passed out the appropriate pictures. Maps.
Thank you. If I could just explain the elevations that have been circulated aren't to do with the next planning application, to do with the one after, but they're omitted from the information pack. Yes, Eastbourne Cycleway. It's a linear site, approximately a kilometre long, between Lottbridge Drove in the west and Langney Roundabout and Seaside in the east. Land around Lottbridge Drove is predominantly industrial, whereas towards the eastern end of the application site, the character is much more residential and even rural in parts. The common feature throughout the site is the Horsey sewer, which is actually a stream and runs for most of the length of the site, with a spur southwards via the Crumble sewer, where the proposed path would connect into Seaside. This spur is intended to provide alternative access to Tollgate School. The sewers, in combination with other sewers in the area, have an integral role in drainage and flood management of the surrounding area, which most likely have been significant contributory factors in designating areas around both sewers as sites of nature conservation importance. The proposal itself is to form a shared tarmac surface for pedestrians and cyclists. It would continue where Phase 2 currently ends, crossing Lottbridge Drove via a new Pelican crossing. The path itself would be a maximum of 3 metres wide and a minimum of 2 metres wide along its entire length. It's a discrete phase in an overall strategy to create an alternative route between Sovereign Harbour and the railway station in the town centre. The proposal is geared towards widening sustainable travel choices and improving commuting and recreation opportunities by offering attractive alternatives to the major arterial routes around Eastbourne, in this case avoiding Lottbridge Drove and Seaside. As you've heard, the route lies within 2 sites of nature conservation interest. The areas have been surveyed for wildlife interest, and any important species such as slowworms or grass snakes found will be protected before construction starts. Landscaping following completion of the route will be designed to enhance the biodiversity of the area. The site also lies within an area identified as being at risk of flooding. Therefore, the proposal has been designed not to increase such risks. The hard surface of the route could increase the rate at which water runs off onto adjoining land and into the adjoining sewers. Consequently, soakaways and swales will be constructed along the edge of the tarmac surface to control the rate of water runoff and also filter it before seeping into the ground. In common with Phase 2, the route is to be signed and will be lit by columns up to 6 metres high. Precise details of the lighting specification have not been finalised yet, but their positions have. On this basis, it's recommended that the details are agreed before any installation, and these details are the subject of proposed condition 6 on page 115. Overall, the proposals provide a welcome facility which should help widen travel choices and improve accessibility for all. It's therefore recommended for approval as set out in section 8 of the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Vickers. The local member, Councillor David Tutt, I think to no one's surprise, is supportive of this application. I'll take Councillor Wallace first, as he's the nearest thing to a... Oh, no, Councillor Ted's also Eastbourne, and then Councillor Field. Councillor Wallace first, and then I'll take Councillor Hayden.
Thank you, Chair. It's rare that I can get excited about a planning application, but this one excites me. It has lots of pluses. Obviously, it's part of a larger route, linking this part of town to the town centre. Lottbridge Drove and Seaside are very congested roads, so we are offering alternative cycle routes, which alternative transport routes would make sense to me. It will also furnish a school. So on many grounds, I see lots of positives with the application, and I see no areas of concern, so I'm recommending we approve this planning application.
Okay. Field, are you seconding?
Yes, I will, because
Okay.
I'm in very familiar territory here, having been involved in several applications in other areas for shared cycleways. There are always many objections. They are nearly always from walkers and people who are, I think, actually frightened of cyclists, but there is no evidence to support that cyclists mow down walkers wholesale. They do, in my experience, work extremely well. Walkers and cyclists are inherently very polite. They're doing a very good thing for their own health and for the health of the rest of us by getting out of their cars. I can see no reason not to approve this.
Thank you. Councillor Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was going to get very excited as well and was very much hoping to second the application.
Oh.
So I think it's a great... Probably was disappointed when during the Eastbourne Borough Plan that this actual route was supposed to be in a road, actually, to relieve a lot of the congestion. Well, only a couple of years ago, but nevertheless, it's now turned into a footway and a cycle track, and that's great. That's wonderful. But what a waste! It could have been all three: a road, a cycleway, and a pedestrian way, and fully lit, Mr. Chairman. So yes, I am very excited. I think it's very much needed. Thank you.
Do the other less excited members of the committee wish to comment? No? Okay. Well, it's been moved and seconded that we agree the recommendation, which is to grant planning permission with the conditions as outlined. All those in favour, please show. Okay, that is unanimous.